All right, continuing with circles and inside circles. This time we're specifically focused on angles and inscribed, which means we're inside the circle of a quadrilateral. So what can you conclude about the angles of a quadrilateral inscribed in a circle? So angles in an inscribed quadrilateral, what we know is if a quadrilateral is inscribed in a circle, so that means all four vertices are on the edge of the circle, then its opposite angles are supplementary. So here and there, those would be our opposite angles. So to be fully accurate, measure of angle BAD plus measure of angle DCB is equal to 180 degrees. Then we can also state measure of angle ADC plus measure of angle ABD is equal to 180. So those two angles there, which then is a huge theorem as we go to apply it. So we're going to find the angle measures of each inscribed quadrilateral. PQRS, find the value of Y, then find the value of measure of angle P, Q, R, and S. So let's start with the two angles we know something about. So P and R, so they're opposite angles, which means I know that the measure of angle P plus the measure of angle R has to equal 180. So P is 5y plus 3, and then plus 15y plus 17, and that has to equal 180. Combining like terms there, and we get 20y, 3 plus 17 is 20 equals 180. Subtract 20 over, and we get 20y equals 160. Divide by 20, and y equals 8. So now we know what y equals. Now we can substitute those all back in. So measure of angle P equals 5y, which was 8, plus 3. 5 times 8 is 40, plus 3 is 43 degrees. Measure of angle R is 15 times y, which is 8, plus 17. 8 times 15 is 120, plus 17 is 137. Then we have measure of angle Q, which is y squared, so that is 8 squared plus 53. 8 squared is 64, plus 53 is going to be a 117 degrees. Now, they don't tell us what measure of angle S. We have no value substitute in there, but there's a bunch of different ways we can do this. We know all the angles in a quadrilateral add up to 360, so we can take all three of those and subtract from 360. But we also know that opposite angles, which is Q and S in this case, are supplementary, means they add to 180, so we can go 180 minus Q, which is 117, and that gives us 63 degrees. All right, so let's look at number 2 here. So similar deal, we have an inscribed quadrilateral, JKLM, find the value of X, and then find the value of each corresponding angle. So our opposite angles here are J and L. That L is kind of off there. So I know measure of angle J plus measure of angle L. Looks like LL there, but that's a angle L. And is 180. Measure of angle J is 39 plus 7x plus 6x minus 15. And that equals 180. Combine like terms, 6x and 7x is 13x. 39 minus 15 is going to be a positive 24, equals 180. Subtract that 24, and we get 13x equals 156. Divide by 13, which gives us x equals 12. So then taking all those, so we have a measure of angle J, substituting that in, so we get 39 plus 7 times 12, and that equals 7 times 12 is 84, plus 39 is 123. And then we have measure of angle K. Well, we'll do measure of angle L, keep our supplementary ones together, equals 6 times 12 minus 15. 6 times 12 is a 72. And then we subtract 15, and that gives us 57 degrees, which when we add those together gives us 180. So we're good. And then we have the measure of angle K. And that is 20 times 12, all divided by 3. 20 times 12 is 240, divided by 3 is 80 degrees. And then our last one is measure of angle M. And we know that K and M are supplementary, so I have to add to 180. So if I subtract that 80, that gives me measure of angle M is 100 degrees. All right, so try one on your own here. So go and pause the video and work through it. And then your answers, measure of angle T to check your work is 115. Measure of angle U is 93. Measure of angle V is 65. And measure of angle W is 87. And along the way, you should have got Z equals 10. So check your work on those as well. So our essential question check-in, what can you conclude about the angles of a quadrilateral inscribed in a circle? So we know that opposite angles are supplementary, which means they add to 180. And we also know the total angles are, or add to 360 degrees. We can use any of those to find missing angles.